All right. Okay. Well, I tried to warn all you peasants at my TED Talks that this was a likely scenario, but we didn't act fast enough. So now we need to make up for lost time with what I like to call mega testing diagnostic platform, where we're going to extract 200 cc's of blood out of each person. Because, let's face it, these COVID tests are finicky as fuck, and triple testing is not enough. Minimum 90 tests per person in an outbreak will be required. Many people will faint from these tests because we're fucking vampires and sucking out so much blood, it'll be like 3 doctors per test subject. As you can see on this white table, monoclonal antibodies will totally, crush the virus like a bunch of Antifas crushing an old army vet.
Take that, you fucking Nazi!
And wait till you see all the different vaccines you'll have to choose from. I don't even know which vaccine to take first. We're going to have to release a whole publication called Vaccine Monthly, a magazine where you can read about the new vaccines we release every month. And, we're gonna have a bunch of nurses and SWAT teams and doctors of all kinds of different people in uniforms. It will be like the Village People, but way bigger and way gayer. And we're going to call them the Global Alert System. And they will just swoop in all over the planet, on fighter jets, and we're going to reward all the obedient peasants with these little yellow guys, this Oscar trophy, we'll call it the infectious whatevers. And I'm really digging this new fleet of red semi-trucks. These are the trucks full of all the blood we're going to suck, and we'll quarantine everybody in giant white tents. And I'm so proud of myself for coming up with this plan. I'm like the greatest fucking guy ever. And once we get this plan rolled out, you're going to wish it was just a microchip surveillance dictatorship. Like, you remember those conspiracies? Those are nothing compared to what's coming.
The emails show that Tony Fauci speaks regularly to Bill Gates. That's odd. Bill Gates is not a doctor. Bill Gates is not a scientist. Bill Gates is a very rich man who made billions making mediocre software for office computers. So why would Tony Fauci be in such regular contact with Bill Gates? The term Bill Gates comes up more than 24 times when you search the Fauci emails. Has Bill Gates profited in any way from Tony Fauci's COVID guidance? That would definitely be worth knowing immediately. And yet we don't know. Our media don't seem interested in finding out.
And just to give you an idea of what failure looks like, look no further than the recent revelations from the divorce of Bill and Melinda Gates. Now look, the tawdry details of Gates complaining to Epstein repeatedly about the state of his marriage and hanging out and all of that aside, the question remains, what was Bill Gates getting from Jeffrey Epstein he couldn't get anywhere else? His previous explanations say that it was related to a bizarre financing scheme for philanthropy. But some new revelations actually shed even more light on that. Gates staffers tell the Daily Beast that Gates justified his dozens of hangouts with Epstein by saying the disgraced pedophile was going to help him get a Nobel Peace Prize. What? Why would a man who had been charged with trafficking underage girls for sex be able to assist with that? Let's dig deeper. So according to the reporting, Gates not only noticed that Epstein was friends with him, but multiple other powerful people. Gates reportedly saw Epstein as his, quote, sure ticket. But the reporting gets even more bizarre. In Gates' bid to get the Nobel Peace Prize, he had a meeting with the head of the Nobel Committee, Mr. Thorbjorn Jagland, in 2013. And guess who facilitated and accompanied Gates in that meeting? Epstein, along with other prominent so-called philanthropists who had been receiving Epstein funding. This is yet another example of this ultimate question. How does he know all of these people? Where did this money come from? As I have posed in a recent segment on Epstein, Bill Gates is either the richest or the second richest man in the world. He has been since I was basically born. Almost every prominent person in the world will pick up if he calls them. Any bank, any president, any philanthropist. Why did he need a disgraced pedophile to help him get a Nobel Peace Prize? He could have gotten help from so many others. Why did he need Epstein's help financing anything? he's got $130 billion. The answer to that question belies not only much of Gates' own very questionable conduct, but will hopefully unravel the ongoing mystery as to how exactly the wealthiest and most powerful people in the world all seemingly knew Epstein, worked with him, allowed their influence to be subject to his dealings with other wealthy people, and ultimately commit crimes for many years to come.